Woman goes missing after drinking. In a small, bustling college town, the lives of a close-knit group of students took a turn no one could have predicted. What started as a normal night out spiraled into a mystery that has left friends, family, and an entire community searching for answers. This story is more than just events. It's about the people involved, the choices they made, and the questions that remain unanswered. If you enjoy intriguing Reddit stories that keep you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and show your support by liking the post. Let's dive into this gripping tale that will have you thinking long after it ends. On the evening of June 2nd, 2011, Lauren Spierer was last seen leaving her apartment in Bloomington, Indiana with her friend, David Rohn. The two headed to another friend's apartment, Jay Rosenbaum, to spend time together. Their plans included meeting up with Jay's neighbor, Corey Rossman. That night, Corey's apartment hosted a gathering of about 10 people. Reports later revealed that the group engaged in heavy drinking and possible drug use, adding to the concerns about what might have unfolded that night. The atmosphere was lively, but the events that followed would leave many unanswered questions. As the night progressed, David left Jay's apartment to return to his own place. Surveillance footage confirms he arrived safely and stayed there until the next morning around 11 a.m. Meanwhile, Lauren and Corey decided to visit Kilroy's Sports Bar. Surveillance footage captured Lauren entering the bar at 1:46 a.m. and later leaving with Corey at approximately 2:27 a.m. By the afternoon of June 3rd, Lauren's boyfriend tried to contact her, only to discover through a Kilroy's employee that she had left her phone at the bar. Alarmed by the situation, Lauren's roommate and her boyfriend attempted to locate her, but were unable to find any trace of her whereabouts. Lauren Spierer was born on January 17, 1991, in Scarsdale, New York, an affluent suburb near New York City. She grew up in a warm and loving Jewish household with her parents, Charlene and Robert Spierer, and her older sister. Her family often described Lauren as a lively and compassionate individual with an infectious energy that lit up any room. Her close relationship with her sister was particularly special, as the two shared countless memories and supported each other through life's milestones. Lauren's upbringing instilled a sense of independence and confidence that she carried with her throughout her life. From the age of 10, Lauren spent her summers at Camp Towanda in Pennsylvania, a place that became her second home. It was there that she formed lifelong friendships with Hadar Tamir and Jay Rosenbaum, who would later play significant roles in her college life. Her time at the camp was filled with laughter, bonding, and shared adventures, shaping her into a person who valued deep connections. Proud of her Jewish heritage, Lauren actively participated in cultural and religious activities. She was a member of Hillel at her college and contributed to the Jewish National Fund, reflecting her commitment to her roots and community. One spring break, Lauren and her sister even volunteered together in Israel, an experience she cherished deeply. In addition to her cultural involvement, Lauren had a natural flair for athletics. She initially joined a local soccer league where her enthusiasm for the game outweighed her usual dislike for hot and sweaty environments. However, when she discovered her love for cross-country running, it became her true passion. The discipline and freedom she found in long-distance running allowed her to connect with herself in a unique way. Her dedication to sports showcased her competitive spirit and love for challenges, traits that defined her personality. Lauren's vibrant and compassionate personality left a lasting impression on everyone who knew her. Friends described her as someone who could light up any room with her warmth and humor. She was deeply loved by her family and friends, and her disappearance left an irreplaceable void in their lives. The events of June 2nd, 2011 remained shrouded. Lauren's natural agility and speed quickly set her apart when she began exploring cross-country running. Her talent was so remarkable that even before starting high school, she was invited to join a college-level team. This early recognition highlighted her potential as an athlete, but life took an unexpected turn when Lauren was diagnosed with a rare heart condition known as long QT syndrome. This disorder disrupts the heart's electrical activity, leading to irregular rhythms that could result in fainting, seizures, or even sudden death. The diagnosis was a devastating blow for Lauren, forcing her to give up the sport she had recently fallen in love with. The transition was challenging, but Lauren's resilience shone through as she redirected her energy toward new interests. Always a fan of fashion, she began channeling her creativity into developing her unique sense of style. Lauren's love for vintage clothing quickly earned her recognition among her peers, and she was often admired as the best-dressed girl in her school. Her weekends became a time of adventure and learning as she regularly took the train to New York City to attend classes at the prestigious Fashion Institute of Technology. These trips deepened her passion for fashion, giving her a sense of purpose and joy. In the summer of 2008, while attending Camp Towanda, Lauren met Jesse Wolfe, a university student from Long Island. Their summer romance blossomed into a meaningful relationship that continued long after camp ended. Jesse became an important part of Lauren's life, providing her with love and support as she navigated her journey through young adulthood. By the following year, Lauren had graduated from high school and set her sights on pursuing a degree in fashion marketing. Determined to follow her dreams, she chose to attend Indiana University, located in Bloomington, Indiana. The decision to move away from her hometown was not easy, but Lauren found comfort in the welcoming and vibrant Jewish community at Indiana University. Knowing she would have a sense of belonging on campus helped her feel secure and excited about the new chapter in her life. Upon arriving at the university, Lauren was thrilled to discover that her roommate was none other than one of her longtime friends. The familiarity of their bond eased her transition into college life, and the two girls quickly settled into their small apartment with enthusiasm and optimism. Lauren's first year at Indiana University was filled with memorable experiences and meaningful connections. She quickly became a popular figure on campus, forming a close-knit group of friends who shared her love for life and adventure. Her outgoing personality and genuine kindness made her stand out in social settings. Living close to Jesse also strengthened their relationship as they spent more time together and supported one another through the ups and downs of college life. Lauren's confidence and happiness seemed to grow with each passing day. Like many college students, Lauren embraced the social aspects of university life, which included attending parties and social gatherings. Indiana University was known for its lively student culture, and Lauren was no exception to the excitement of being part of it. However, beneath the surface of her vibrant and outgoing personality, she carried the weight of her health condition and the challenges it brought. Despite this, Lauren's zest for life and her ability to find joy in new experiences left an enduring impression on everyone around her. Indiana University, while respected academically, carried a less flattering reputation for its party culture. The extensive use of alcohol and recreational drugs, like Xanax and cocaine, often overshadowed its achievements. Parties were notorious for a dangerous mix of substances, with some students taking drugs before drinking to heighten their intoxication and enhance the party experience. This hedonistic atmosphere cast a shadow on the university's social life, and for some, became a rite of passage. Lauren, despite her medical condition and the advice of her primary physician to avoid alcohol and certain medications, found herself drawn to this lifestyle. Her doctor had emphasized the potential risks of excessive drinking, especially given her diagnosis of long QT syndrome. However, like many young adults eager to explore their independence, Lauren didn't always follow this guidance. She embraced the university's party culture with the enthusiasm and defiance typical of her age, often ignoring the warnings meant to safeguard her health. On September 2, 2010, Lauren and her boyfriend Jesse were arrested outside a football game for public intoxication and illegal consumption of alcohol. The pair were taken to Monroe County Jail and released after sobering up. Though the charges were eventually dropped, the court imposed a fine of $428 on each of them and required them to complete a responsible alcohol consumption program. This incident served as a reality check, but did little to dampen Lauren's zest for life. She continued to navigate the ups and downs of college, determined to make the most of her time at Indiana University. By her sophomore year, Lauren had settled into a rhythm. In spring 2011, she once again volunteered with the Jewish National Fund during her break, traveling to Israel to plant trees and contribute to environmental efforts. This experience was deeply meaningful to her, reflecting her strong connection to her heritage and her desire to make a positive impact. Upon her return to the U.S., Lauren shifted her focus to her studies. With only 2 weeks left in the semester, she began preparing for final exams while looking ahead to the summer, during which she had secured an internship at a clothing store, a step toward her dream of a career in fashion. As May approached, the state of Indiana prepared for its most famous event, the Indianapolis 500. This prestigious single-seater auto race, held at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, attracts global attention. Known for its 4-kilometer oval circuit and its status as the world's largest sporting venue, the Indy 500 has been a tradition since 1974, held during the last week of May. Like many Indiana University students, Lauren was drawn to the energy and excitement of the event. During the festivities, she crossed paths with Mike Beth and Corey Rossman, two individuals who would later play a significant role in her story. The following week, Lauren, feeling upbeat and social, invited a few friends to her apartment to watch a basketball game and enjoy some wine. It was a relaxed and enjoyable evening, a brief respite from the demands of college life. As always, Lauren's warm and welcoming nature shone through, making her apartment a hub for friends to gather and unwind. Little did anyone know that these seemingly ordinary moments would become part of a story that would later captivate national attention. Lauren's boyfriend, Jesse, preferred a quiet night at his place. When Lauren texted him earlier that evening, she mentioned she had a migraine and didn't feel up to going out. Unlike her usual Thursday nights, Lauren had planned to stay in and rest. Jesse responded thoughtfully, suggesting that if she felt better later, she should call him to chat. However, as the basketball game ended, Lauren's plans took an unexpected turn. Her neighbor and friend, David Rohn, encouraged her to come out for the evening, and she decided to join him. She didn't let Jesse know about her change of plans. At around 12:30 a.m., Lauren and David left her apartment to head to a pre-party at Jay Rosenbaum's place. Since Jay lived close by, they decided to walk. Security cameras outside her building captured their departure. The night's atmosphere was lively, and Lauren seemed ready to embrace the energy of the gathering. Once at the party, Lauren reconnected with Mike Beth and Corey Rossman, whom she had recently met. The group was in high spirits, mixing drinks with recreational drugs like clonazepam pills and cocaine to intensify the experience. By 1:46 a.m., Lauren and Corey left the party together and headed to Kilroy Sports Bar, a popular student hangout. Surveillance footage from the bar recorded their arrival. To get in, Lauren used a fake ID, a common practice among students eager to join the nightlife. Once inside, she made her way to the bar and grabbed a drink. Kilroy's was known for its unique sandy patio area where patrons could take off their shoes and enjoy the beach-like vibe. Lauren joined in, removing her shoes and soaking up the carefree atmosphere. After about 40 minutes at Kilroy's, Lauren and Corey decided to continue the night back at her apartment. By this point, Lauren was visibly intoxicated, and she accidentally left her shoes and phone behind at the bar. Corey had to support her as they walked back to her building, helping her maintain balance. At 2:30 a.m., they arrived at Smallwood Plaza Apartments and took the elevator to Lauren's fifth-floor apartment. As they stepped off the elevator, they encountered a group of students. Among them was a fraternity brother of Jesse's who immediately noticed Lauren's condition. Seeing Lauren so inebriated alarmed Jesse's fraternity brother, and he confronted Corey. He sternly warned Corey that it was inappropriate to continue partying with someone else's girlfriend, especially in her vulnerable state. The situation quickly escalated, with tempers flaring on both sides. The verbal exchange turned into a physical altercation when one of the students, angered by Corey's dismissive attitude, punched him in the face. Corey stumbled but quickly regained his footing, brushing off the incident. Following the confrontation, Corey and Lauren decided not to stay at her apartment. Instead, they chose to return to Corey's place. By now, it was nearing 3:00 a.m. Surveillance cameras at Smallwood Plaza captured the two leaving the building together, Lauren still relying on Corey for support. The night had taken a chaotic turn, setting the stage for what would later become a tragic and mysterious series of events. In search of a quicker way back, Corey and Lauren decided to take a shortcut through an alley located between College Avenue and Morton Street. The uneven terrain and Lauren's intoxication made the walk challenging. Along the way, Lauren stumbled and fell twice, leaving her keys and purse behind on the ground. Her high blood alcohol level made it nearly impossible for her to stand without assistance. Corey, despite being intoxicated himself, managed to pick her up and carry her the rest of the way. After a few difficult minutes, they finally exited the alley and arrived at Corey's apartment building. Inside the apartment, Corey's roommate, Michael Beth, was awake and studying in his room when he heard the commotion at the entrance. Curious, he stepped into the living room and immediately noticed Corey's condition. It was clear that Corey was heavily inebriated. He could barely walk straight and kept stumbling into furniture, creating a noisy scene. To make matters worse, Corey vomited on the carpet shortly after entering. Concerned, Michael helped guide him to his bedroom, hoping to settle the chaos and let Corey rest. Once Corey was in bed, Michael returned to the living room, only to find Lauren still up and determined to keep the party going. Lauren tried to convince Michael to join her in continuing the night's festivities, but he refused, urging her to sleep instead. He was worried about her condition and insisted that it was unsafe for her to keep drinking. Lauren, however, seemed unwilling to listen. Her energy and determination to prolong the night were unwavering. Seeing no other option, Michael decided to call their neighbor, Jay Rosenbaum, to ask for help. Jay quickly agreed and opened his door to let Lauren stay at his apartment, hoping to ensure her safety. When Lauren arrived at Jay's apartment, he immediately noticed a bruise under her eye. Concerned, he asked her what had happened, but Lauren couldn't remember how or when she got injured. Jay suggested that she rest on his sofa for the night rather than attempt to go home in her condition. However, Lauren was insistent on continuing to drink and resisted his advice. Despite the late hour, well past 4 a.m., she showed no signs of wanting to stop. Jay reluctantly tried to keep her calm, hoping she would eventually agree to rest. By 4:15 a.m., Lauren was still determined to leave. Jay watched as she walked out of his apartment barefoot, without her phone, and visibly intoxicated. She headed down Elvin Street, and Jay stood by his door, keeping an eye on her until she turned right onto College Avenue and disappeared from view. That moment marked the last time anyone saw Lauren. Her absence would soon become a cause of great alarm for her friends and loved ones. The next morning, as was his routine, Jesse called Lauren to wish her a good morning. To his surprise, a Kilroy Sports Bar employee answered her phone and informed him that it had been left at the bar the night before. Alarmed, Jesse immediately contacted Lauren's roommate, Hoda, to check if she had made it back to their apartment. Hoda searched Lauren's room but found it empty, with no signs that she had slept there. Panic began to set in, and word of Lauren's disappearance quickly spread among her friends. By 4:30 p.m. that same day, the growing concern had escalated into a full-fledged search effort, as everyone feared the worst. Jesse, deeply concerned and unable to contact Lauren, officially reported her missing. The news struck fear into the hearts of Lauren's parents, Robert and Charlene Spearer, who were back in New York at the time. Upon hearing about their daughter's disappearance, they immediately traveled to Bloomington. The trip was filled with anxiety and dread. As the reality of the situation sank in, the uncertainty surrounding Lauren's condition was especially harrowing for them, given her history with long QT syndrome, a potentially fatal heart condition. Their first stop upon arrival was the Bloomington Police Department, where they met with officers to review the search plan. Authorities outlined a strategy that included scouring the area near Lauren's apartment and Kilroy's Sports Bar, as these were the last places she was known to have been. The team included officers, K-9 units, and volunteers, all committed to piecing together what happened. Charlene made sure to inform the police about Lauren's heart condition, emphasizing how vulnerable she might be if stranded or unable to receive medical attention. Within 24 hours of Lauren's disappearance, a large group of volunteers gathered outside Smallwood Plaza to aid in the search. The group consisted of local residents, students, family, and friends, all eager to help. Together, they mapped out routes to cover Bloomington and nearby areas, including wooded trails and local lakes. Though Robert and Charlene had no concrete evidence suggesting Lauren might be in those locations, they felt it was a logical starting point. Every possibility needed to be explored, no matter how slim the chances. News of Lauren's disappearance quickly spread across social media. Within hours, an anonymous Twitter account dedicated to raising awareness about Lauren's case gained traction. In just 1 week, the account attracted over 20,000 followers, and prominent figures like Kim Kardashian amplified the search by sharing Lauren's photo with their massive online audiences. Meanwhile, the Spearer family launched a Facebook page called Help Find Lauren Spearer, which gained 12,000 followers in its first 3 days. The community's response was overwhelming, with hundreds rallying to support the family. By the following Monday, around 400 volunteers participated in organized searches each day. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children also took notice, dispatching a rapid response team to Bloomington to assist in the efforts. The organization officially registered Lauren's case under their missing persons database, assigning her the case number 1,173,375. The Spearer family found comfort in knowing that a national organization was now involved, but the growing scale of the operation underscored the gravity of the situation. On June 7, 2011, less than a week after Lauren's disappearance, the case received nationwide media coverage. Major news outlets prominently featured her story, bringing national attention to Bloomington. Meanwhile, Local authorities worked diligently, executing search warrants to obtain security footage from every location Lauren was known to have visited that night. Each piece of evidence was critical as investigators worked tirelessly to uncover the truth about what had happened to Lauren. The search continued, fueled by the combined efforts of law enforcement, volunteers, and a supportive online community. The police swiftly began questioning everyone who had been in contact with Lauren on the night of her disappearance, hoping to uncover new leads. Desperate for answers, her parents, Robert and Charlene Spearer, offered a $100,000 reward for any information that could lead to Lauren's safe return. The community rallied around the family, with local businesses fundraising to contribute additional rewards and printing flyers bearing Lauren's photo, which were distributed throughout the city. The Jewish community, including Lauren's synagogue, also played a significant role in spreading awareness, organizing events to support the search efforts and raise funds. One promising lead emerged when police released enhanced surveillance footage showing a white truck driving near the area where Lauren was last seen. The truck was recorded circling the street within 10 minutes of her disappearance, sparking hope that it might hold the key to understanding what happened. However, this lead quickly turned cold after the owner was located and explained he was merely picking up an employee. With no further evidence connected to the vehicle, the investigation faced another dead end. Despite the challenges, law enforcement continued their efforts, conducting extensive interrogations of Lauren's friends and family. Jay Rosenbaum, who was reportedly the last person to see her, cooperated fully with investigators and passed a polygraph test. Yet, public suspicion fell on Jay, Corey Rossman, Jesse Wolf, and David Rohn, who were all present during the events of that night. Under intense scrutiny, each of them hired private attorneys to protect their interests. Professional searches around Bloomington, including wooded areas, lakes, and the surrounding neighborhoods, were called off after 2 days, yielding no tangible results. By August 2011, the search expanded to include the Sycamore Ridge landfill, where investigators painstakingly sifted through over 400,000 tons of garbage. Yet, even after such a Herculean effort, no trace of Lauren or her belongings was discovered. Frustrated by the lack of progress, Robert and Charlene Spearer decided to take legal action. In 2013, they filed a civil lawsuit against Jay Rosenbaum, Corey Rossman, and Michael Beth, alleging that their negligence and inaction contributed to Lauren's disappearance, harm, and presumed death. Corey was also accused of providing alcohol to Lauren on the night she vanished. The case faced significant legal hurdles. In December 2013, federal judge Tanya Walton Pratt dismissed the claims against Michael Beth, ruling that he had no legal duty to care for Lauren, even though he had offered her a place to rest. The judge determined that Michael could not be held responsible for her safety once she left his apartment. The following year, the lawsuit against Jay and Corey was also dismissed. Judge Pratt stated that without concrete evidence linking their actions to Lauren's disappearance, a jury could not reasonably conclude that their behavior directly led to the tragic events of that night. Undeterred, Robert and Charlene appealed the decision to the U.S. Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals. For them, the legal battle was not just about seeking accountability, but also about keeping Lauren's memory alive and ensuring that her case remained in the public eye. Though the appeals process added another layer of complexity, it also reaffirmed their commitment to finding out the truth. For the Spearers, the fight for justice was far from over, even as the years since Lauren's disappearance continued to pass. Just days after the court ruled in favor of the defendants, attorneys for the young men involved reiterated that their clients had cooperated fully with both law enforcement and the private investigators hired by Lauren's family. They emphasized that their clients had agreed to polygraph tests and answered every question posed to them. Despite this, public suspicion lingered. Meanwhile, the police continued their investigation, leaving no stone unturned. In April 2015, a chilling parallel emerged when another Indiana University student, Hannah Wilson, went missing. Like Lauren, Hannah had spent her final evening at Kilroy Sports Bar. She was last seen getting into a cab outside the bar. The next morning, her body was discovered in Brown County, Indiana. Police quickly apprehended a suspect, Daniel Messel, after finding his cell phone near the crime scene. This development reignited speculation about a potential connection to Lauren's case. However, after an extensive investigation, authorities concluded that the two cases were unrelated and any similarities were purely coincidental. Over the years, the search for Lauren remained relentless. Police and volunteers scoured the university campus and surrounding areas repeatedly. Dive teams searched Lake Monroe and other nearby lakes, while organized search parties combed through dense wooded areas hoping for a breakthrough. Despite their unwavering efforts, these searches yielded no significant clues. The sheer scale of the operation underscored the community's determination to find answers, but the results remained heartbreakingly elusive. By 2021, the community and investigators marked the solemn 10th anniversary of Lauren's disappearance. In the 3 years leading up to the milestone, authorities had pursued over 800 new tips, with about 100 deemed credible enough to warrant further investigation. More than 10 search warrants were executed during this period, but none brought the closure Lauren's family so desperately sought. The passage of time did little to diminish their determination, even as their hope for finding Lauren alive dimmed. Lauren's parents, Charlene and Robert, along with her sister Rebecca, remained steadfast in their pursuit of the truth. They openly acknowledged their belief that Lauren was no longer alive, but held onto a fervent hope for answers. For them, knowing the truth, whether Lauren was the victim of foul play or a tragic accident, was essential to ending the torment of uncertainty. The pain of not knowing weighed heavily on them every day. Through the years, the Spierer family has transformed their grief into advocacy, ensuring Lauren's case remains in the public eye. They continue to work with law enforcement and the media, hoping for the one piece of information that could finally solve the puzzle. Their resilience is a testament to their love for Lauren and their determination to find closure. For them, the search for truth is not just about justice. It is about honoring Lauren's memory and finding a way to heal from the devastating loss. This case serves as a chilling reminder of the unpredictability of life and the hidden dangers that can be lurking beneath the surface. It sheds light on the complexities of relationships, the consequences of risky decisions, and the unspoken struggles that can unfold behind closed doors. The mystery surrounding Lauren's disappearance continues to haunt those who knew her, and the search for answers remains an ongoing journey for her family and the community. Thank you for taking the time to explore this story with us. If you found this account thought-provoking, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Your support helps us continue to bring more stories to light. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments and share the post with others. Stay curious, stay aware, and we'll be back soon with more stories that will keep you